You're listening to the Online Radio Network. This is Paul Shepherd speaking. This is the second part of my ongoing series on the changes to the tax system. I want to give you my thoughts about what I believe to be the final shape of the tax changes for individual taxpayers. I've come to some conclusions about the end objective of the ATO based upon three pieces of information, which of themselves are separate, but are three parts of this jigsaw puzzle of changes to the tax system. The first part is the further development of the online software by the ATO, which is partnered by the MyGov system for the ATO to send all correspondence directly to the taxpayer. This means that the ATO is receiving tax returns directly using the online software and communicating directly with the taxpayer using their MyGov. Now, the development I'm talking about relates to a mobile phone app. This mobile phone app allows taxpayers to send take a photograph of their documents and have it linked directly into their tax return on the e-tax. From 1st of July 2016, this year, taxpayers can take photographs on their mobile phone, and then that is imported directly into the e-tax tax return. So this allows the tax to be done easily by the taxpayers, but it also allows the ATO to see the paperwork behind the claims for the first time, and so allows an audit to be done at the same time, and we're talking real-time audits, and so deny the claims very easily. Rather than waiting a year down the track or 2 years, they get it straight away, so they can impose their penalties quicker for incorrectly preparing the tax return, as the tax office can see more about a taxpayer's affairs. Now, the second part of the information puzzle comes out of an answer to a question put to the Second Commissioner of Taxation, Jeff Leaper, back in 2014 at the ATSA conference. Now, I've talked about this before in the previous recordings, but I want to talk about it again in this one. This is the second part. A question was asked of him as to how much effort would it take for the tax returns to be done automatically. They said that, the ATO's got all this information. How much effort would it take? Because they're doing it all with BASs and a whole lot of things. And Jeff said, and I quote, "We believe it is entirely possible to draw the information needed from the natural business systems without needing the information rekeyed. For individuals, the gross income and PAYE deductions when they're working is reported by the employers quarterly to the ATO, if the taxpayer is employed, of course. What this means is the ATO can have access to the records of the income, which is pre-filling the tax returns with this information, and now if the expenses are going to be going directly in via the app, then it's really going to be very easy for the returns to be completed and for the tax office to determine the tax liability. So these expenses would just get added onto the figures. The expenses would be picked up as they're supplied using the technology via the mobile phone app. So the tax officer's got it all. But for an individual who's paid as a subcontractor, their income and any tax deducted are being reported progressively via the new rules for contractors to the ATO. And then for the offsetting expenses for the subcontractors, again, similar to uploading via this app the expenses directly into the tax return. So that's the end of this first part of what I wanted to say in relation to the second of my changes to the tax system. And I want to speak about the next piece of the puzzle, which I think is quite important that people understand about where things are going. So thanks for listening.